Hey guys, just time for a very quick update on my comp prep. I kept you in the loop as to what I've been doing in the past, leading into my carb deplete and ultimately my peak week. Okay, so what I've done over the last few days has dropped my calories a little bit. Okay, I've been carb depleting. So as I mentioned in my previous video, I have done 265 protein, 81 fat, and 260 carb on a low day. And my high days have been 240 grams of protein, 76 grams of fat, and 430 grams of carbs. So over the past 3 days, what I've done is dropped my calories considerably. So my protein has stayed the same at 265. My fat has dropped from 81 grams down to 50, and my carbs have dropped from 260 grams down to 190 grams. Okay, so removing some of the carbohydrate intake just to try and deplete my muscles somewhat in preparation for my carb deplete. So I guess if you think about it, and I borrow this analogy from Brad Tick, thank you mate. If you think of your muscles as a sponge, what we're trying to do is wring the water out before, I guess, soaking them back up and essentially making them blow up a little bit better as a result of removing the carbs first, or the water, and then soaking them back up. So what we're going to be doing over the next couple of days is gradually increasing my carbohydrate intake, very gradually. And then on Monday, what we're going to do is begin the genuine peak week. Okay, so what's going on there is Monday is going to be a very high carb day. I think I'm looking at about 500 grams before slowly tapering it off. Okay, so this time around I'm doing a front load, which I've never done before personally, so I'm looking forward to that. It's essentially a precaution that you can take in order to make sure that you have enough time in order to change things up or fix things up should you spill over or maybe not quite coming in full enough. Okay, so the idea being that you fill up on carbohydrates at the start of the week and then gradually taper off to make sure that by the end of the week you are still looking very nice and full. If you load at the back end of peak week, chances are you're going to have to do a little bit of guessing. So if you end up doing too many carbs, you might spill over and look a bit sloppy on the day. That's no good. You're only going to give yourself a couple of hours in which to fix that problem. Similarly, if you don't get enough carbohydrates in, you may end up looking a little bit flat on stage. So the purpose of a front load is to make sure that we have enough time to ensure that I'm looking as full and as good as possible on the day. Okay, so over the last couple of days, as I said, I have dropped my calories fairly considerably. It's been about, I think, 500 to 600 calorie drop. So what did I change? Have I changed my food? Have I changed my supplements? All that sort of stuff. I'm going to go through it right now. So obviously with decreased calories, the emphasis has to be on looking at foods that are slightly lower in calories so that I can still maintain a reasonable volume of food. So essentially, the only thing I've really changed is increase the volume of my vegetables just to make sure that I'm still getting enough food and I'm trying to satisfy my hunger. But apart from that, I really haven't changed much. My food sources are still pretty much the same. I've actually managed to get a little bit of ice cream in every day so far, so that's definitely a win. And really the only other thing that I can think of is I've changed my coffee. Typically I get a skim cappuccino. That's a little bit too high in carbs, so I dropped that for a long black with a dash of milk upon an expert recommendation. So I've done that, and then maybe looked at spacing my meals out just a little bit further to combat the lower amount of calories that I've been consuming. In terms of my energy, it has dropped off over the past couple of days. That's to be expected, particularly considering the big drop in carbs. My training intensity has dropped somewhat. My strength has dropped somewhat too. Not quite sure how much of that is a mental thing, considering I knew what to expect with the carb deplete. But overall, I'm feeling pretty good. And over the next 8 days, we should hopefully really start to see some pretty exciting changes. So moving forwards, again, not going to be changing anything in terms of my food other than the macros on each day. So as I said, we're going to be slightly tailoring back up tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday for a big day on Monday, and then again tapering back off towards the end of the week to make sure that I come in nice and full and hard. Cardio is also going to increase. I've got a couple of sessions, interval training sessions over the next few days. And then I'm actually going to introduce some steady state cardio towards the end of the week as well. Now, I haven't done any steady state cardio whatsoever throughout my entire prep, which has been awesome because steady state sucks. But again, it's only a couple of 20 and 10-minute sessions, I think, as we get towards the end of the week. So it won't be too bad. Not particularly looking forward to it. But again, it's, as I said, it's a pretty small amount of time. So not worried too much about that. In terms of how I'm looking, really happy with my progress. I guess with my body fat percentage, I mean, I don't really know it, but I'm feeling like I'm looking good. Pop up just a photo here from the end of my training session today. As you can see, looking a little bit flat. Hopefully, by the time we get to the comp, I'll actually be looking much fuller. My muscles will be looking, nice and rounded and full. I guess full is really the emphasis that we want to put on that. We really want to get that sort of skin bursting, muscle fullness appearance about us. So fingers crossed over the next couple of days we can do that, and obviously we'll be playing it by ear, and I'll be in contact with Lane over those couple of days just to make sure that we can make any final changes should I not be coming in full enough, or maybe looking at potentially fixing any spilling over or anything like that. Training over the next couple of days, not really going to change except for the added cardio. So tomorrow I'll do some shoulders and arms as per normal. Sunday just a bit of cardio, and then Monday will be my final leg session before comp. Don't want to retain too much water, so you typically tend to stop training legs about a week out, which will actually be the first time I haven't trained legs twice in a week for probably somewhere between 12 and 18 months. So that'll be interesting. I'll get a nice little break. But other than that, everything stays the same with a little bit of light full body work towards the end of the week just to make sure that the glycogen is moving around them and filling up my muscles. Supplements are staying the same too. I'm still taking creatine daily, between 5 and 10 grams. Protein as required again, just to help me with hitting protein. And my extend between meals, of course, as well. And I guess really, other than that, not a lot is changing. A few of you have asked about sodium. Look, we're not playing around with that too much. Typically, what we've done is look at what sort of sodium levels I've been hitting over the past, I guess, my entire prep. And they've typically been around the sort of 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams per day on a low carb day, whereas my high carb days are typically a bit higher, around that sort of 3,000 to 4,000. So what we've done at the start of peak week, leading in, beginning Monday, is began reasonably high, so around that sort of 4,000 mark, I'm pretty sure from memory, before tapering it off just very slightly. So not too much of a difference there. There's really no need to get into cutting sodium and cutting water and all that sort of stuff. My fluid intake is going to remain relatively high, so sort of aiming for about four-ish litres per day. But again, absolutely no need to cut sodium or water or any of that bro science sort of stuff. That's really for those people that just haven't gotten lean enough. So I've been dieting for 12, 13, 14 weeks now. I think I'm pretty good to go. I'm really happy with my progress, and I'm really looking forward to the next 8 days. So sorry this video has been a little bit all over the place and everything. I guess I've got a bit of a low carb brain going on, but look, overall my entire prep has been fantastic to date, and I'm really happy with how things have gone. I'm not really craving any foods at all. Certainly no more than what I can satisfy with my macronutrient requirements. I'm looking forward to maybe a little bit of sushi or a burger out afterwards, but other than that, it really has been a dream. And I'm feeling good. So I'm ready for some extra calories over the coming days, and hopefully looking at really filling out nicely. Other than that, guys, if you do have any questions, please feel free to pop them below, and I'll see if I can pop them into the next couple of days. So I'll probably look at aiming to do one on my first high carb day or thereabouts, just to keep you posted and keep you in the loop as to how I'm progressing. Appreciate all the support so far, guys, and again, if you do have any questions, please pop them below. Have a great weekend.